Well, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folarin. First of all, apologies for coming, more than a bit behind schedule. But we're here, and let me quickly, without wasting any further time, my guest this morning, Dr. Fassy Yussuf, lawyer and communications expert. Fassy, good morning. It's been quite a while.
It's been a while.
Indeed, great to be here. And then Mr. Dennis Amachree, MON, former Assistant Director of DSS. Dennis, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Indeed. Now, we want to look at, of course, it's been in the news since Tuesday, the Nigerian Defense Academy that was attacked, quite frankly, by bandits, and it's in all over the news. A lot is known about the situation since there were reports from the NDA itself. Now we have it, it's a lot clearer. 2 officers, no less, reportedly killed. One has been abducted, and the authorities are on the trail and have promised that they will get him back. But let me start off, since there's so much that is already known about the matter since it happened. Let me start with you, if I may, Fassy. We talk about, and I just said it myself, NDA in Kaduna was attacked by bandits in the wee hours of the morning of Tuesday. Why are we calling those that attacked the NDA bandits and not terrorists or insurgents? Bandits don't attack military, federal government facilities. What they do, I guess, is in fact, there's the way you think of bandits and you associate it with travelers. They rob travelers, but all official communication is saying NDA was attacked by bandits. Help me out, Fassy. You're the communication expert. What's this whole business about bandits?
I guess the society, especially the media, being the agenda setters, trying to key into the admonition of the government that should play down on some of these things, and that they should not be glorified.
Okay.
And that the more you glorify them, the more they have the strength to wage war against the nation. What has simply happened is that these people decided to wage war against the nation, and they are terrorist simpliciter.
Dennis, would you like to comment on that same question? We're following government's lead. Fassy has just explained that perhaps it's an official policy to lessen their impact, and so we're calling people who are able to take on military formation. Okay, let me be more clear and say Nigeria's foremost military training institution. They're able to take them on, wreak as much havoc as that, and yet they are saying it is bandits that did it.
I think this issue of nomenclature is really bothering everybody. In fact, I was talking with somebody yesterday who was telling me that they are not even bandits or terrorists, they are mercenaries. Because apparently they must have come, they are well equipped, they are well trained, because the way they executed what they did was, with precision. And then, of course, the escape route was all planned out. Being held by an insider most likely, and then it happened. So we can call them bandits, we can call them, because there's
but bandits sort of lowers the severity of the attack.
Because but right now they're actually terrorists.
That's
because when you look at it, who is a terrorist? A terrorist is somebody who unleashes terror on people for a political end.
There you go.
So what are you trying to prove? Western education is not acceptable. So these same people, following what Boko Haram is doing, have been attacking schools, have been attacking, and now they've gone to attack the military school.
Yes, the military school.
So, they fall under the canopy of terrorists.
I would have thought so. And Fassy, you see, this whole business of attacking, it's a very, very serious matter to most normal people when they look at it. Number one, they studied and they understood the flaws, the weaknesses. It is even said, and I think the military is conducting an inquiry into that, there were no sentries. I think I have heard.
No, they said there was, just that the response was very, very slow.
Okay.
But you see, what you can take from all these things is that, one, the security architecture has broken down over a long period. Two, there must be a mold within the system. And three, there must be dampening of morale and that the general apathy of our military men should be examined. And in normal times, X should have rolled. You see, setting up inquiries and all the rest, we've had that in the past. The commandant of the Defense Academy should have even excused himself from duty, or he should have been removed or placed on suspension.
Because what you've just said, the chief of army staff,
I
believe, said he suspected
that
an inside
is an extension of the Defense Academy. It's a new extension, and for anybody whatsoever to be able to penetrate that place and to capture a lieutenant commander and a commander, and to kill them and to take away a major and another person, then it shows a lot about what we are going through in this country.
And
it is melancholic.
Dennis, it looks like the security architecture that they're talking about, they left it wide open. And I mean by that I am hearing that in military camps, barracks and places like that, on Fridays, they open it up to the public to come in for Jumat services. Now, who do you know is coming in wielding a rosary bead and a mat? How do you know who he is? So that I'm guessing. What do I know? But I'm looking at it that the way this attack was carried out, they scoped the place. The military allowed them to scope the place. They were able to mount a very effective attack, to use the word that police often use, a dastardly attack. And but it's not a laughing matter. In fact, we're all embarrassed. The architecture, what architecture is that?
Well, the thing is that, like you said, there was laxity. That there is no doubt about it.
In a military formation?
Yes, in a military formation, because remember, I draw your mind back to in the days where Boko Haram was doing suicide bombing. And they will load bombs into a vehicle, a Hilux, and drive it into any institution, facility, and blow it up. Even markets, they do that. So you find out the response. If you go to any military formation right now, police headquarters, DSS headquarters, you will see that there are
a lot of barricades.
Concrete barricades that have been placed there. All right, that is for the suicide bombers. But the threat has changed. See, the threat is an evolving thing. And the threat now is that people are actually going and kidnapping people. So instead of the barricade, what they've done, you are very correct, they must have studied that gate for so long, understand how people go in and come out.
Yes.
They see what happens when a military vehicle, an authentic NDA vehicle is going in. They must have looked at it, how it is being processed to go in and come out. Then they decided to do the same thing by wearing military camo, and then of course driving to the gate and following the normal MO.
Are you sure they even bothered with military camouflage? Because
they went
in the wee hours of the morning.
The point is even this: they came in through the bush path.
Yes.
And they broke the fence.
No.
I've heard
the story we heard was that they come through the main gate.
Through the main gate?
They drove through the main gate.
Says that they came into the bush part.
No. That's the escape route.
Details are quite sketchy. Because I was also reading one account that they came through a part, and this was the official point of view of the academy itself. They came through a path that unfortunately did not have a brick wall, or did not have a wall itself.
It's a linked fence.
Yes, that kind of a
linked
thing.
Fence.
So that's where they came through. Now, what's going on here? I mean, military intelligence.
I think it was just to embarrass the military. Otherwise, what point were they trying to make?
But they've made the point now.
No, I'm saying that the only point they tried to make was to embarrass the military, to embarrass the government, and to tell us that, look, the military is not safe. So if the military is not safe, nobody is safe in this country.
And then take 2 of our soldiers.
Kill
2 of our soldiers, kidnap one other,
and another guy.
While they are at it. I mean, we're in a complete mess from a point of view of our national ego.
Yeah,
and,
well, it is.
We've lost our ego.
It is very embarrassing, but it is not that it has never happened before. Military,
but not in Nigeria.
Yeah,
Although
in other countries, you know, military facilities are very, very prone to attack.
You know, usually you don't hear very much about intelligence matters except that which they want you to hear. But listening to one retired high-ranking military officer who was speaking on a television station yesterday, he was actually then saying that, as a matter of fact, this is not the first time, and he actually alleged that the military had in the past paid ransom, and we know the policy of the government on those kind of matters. So the more we are hearing, the more despondent we are getting, quite frankly. And I don't know, what do you think can now be done to this woundure, as I like the combination of it, to this woundure of our national pride? Because when terrorists, even though they're still going by bandits, when they are analytical enough, smart enough, was savvy enough to study us, scope us, and then mount this kind of an embarrassing attack. And right now, as we speak, you just saw the placard, the slide there. All sorts of forces have gotten together now to go after them. I imagine the president would have ordered that you must find him, whatever.
Honestly, this is
they were sending a message.
This is a subject that one is tired of talking about.
Until they took it to this level.
Security, and security that has led to insecurity. You see, what you have in this country now calls for a re-examination, a rejigging, a rejuvenation of our security architecture. And the first thing we should patronize is technology. Technology to be able to scan.
Sorry to interrupt you. Yes. Look at that slide there. So the military is now being reactive as opposed to being proactive.
Yes.
Instead of making it impossible for what happened to happen, now that it has happened, we've been caught pants down. The military is now exploring all options.
This should have happened. This meeting would have happened when the forestry school was attacked, which is just some meters away from the NDA. So this meeting would have held place, you know, and then of course everybody briefed, and then of course a response plan put in place. But
they never.
We never saw it coming. Being reactive shows the state of helplessness, and the state that we are in a situation where we cannot think right. What I'm saying, the submission I was trying to make before the interjection was that there should be technology. See, our security architecture should be technology driven. With technology, you can know who a particular man in Gashua.
We have vetted so much money into these matters.
So what is happening to our people who are in charge of our technology? Why can't we scan the environment? What is happening with reconnaissance? What is happening to ability to capture every part of the country? With just security, sitting down in your office with adequate security, you can monitor.
You know, I want to interrogate what you just said, especially one word, our helplessness. You know, using that word. I want to bring it over to Dennis. You know, the situation is so bad that there are those who are actually now saying that, you know what, it looks like, in fact, they are even saying that the authorities are in complicity with these people who are messing us around like this. That there's no way.
That's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, yes, it is a conspiracy theory, and let us emphasize it for what it is. But that if so-called bandits are able to mess us around like this, they say beyond helplessness, there seems to be a matter of complicity, that the authorities are looking the other way and that they have an agenda. Perish the thought. What do you think of that kind of I would say, way out conspiracy theory?
No, actually, when you investigate this particular issue, you discover that it goes beyond what we are seeing right now.
Okay.
Now, earlier on, these bandits then were in Kaduna State.
Yes.
So the question now we're going to ask is, why Kaduna State? Because you find out that before, the governor was almost trying to manage them, let me put it that way. And I think when they fell out,
Yes.
they felt that they are going to make the state ungovernable for him. You know, right now we have about 5,000 schools closed down in Kaduna State. And more are going to close. Because when you look at it,
So trying to teach El Rufai a lesson, right?
Yeah, something
because
like that.
El Rufai is not playing ball anymore after he declared that no more.
Yes.
Thus far and no further.
Exactly. So you find out that that is the root cause of what is happening. But again, before he takes that decision, he should have maybe get together with the security agencies, have a strategic plan on how to counter, because they will not just sit back and say, okay, you are not going to take care of us again and then let's forget it. They should have planned for these particular events.
Well, yeah, but that is one aspect. Fassy, the other thing connected to that is we have heard in the past, and quite frankly, it stands to reason, that the military is a body under orders. And their order, the authority is not military. The authority line is civilian. So if they are not ordered, they cannot move. It doesn't matter.
You can't say that now. How many times have the president told them?
Wait now.
How many times has the president?
It's a bloody civilian.
Wait now. How many times has the president told them? Shoot anybody with AK-47. Go and get these people. Enough is enough. These are all results of meetings that were held.
Yeah, but the implication...
So that you will not say that, okay, because they are military, they are now waiting for orders. I think the order has been given long time ago.
The order has been given, but people have also noted...
In military, see, we have...
They're all subject to a civilian authority.
Strategic approach to handling issues of this nature. In the military, if you attend the Defense Academy, if you attend other military courses in Nigeria and abroad, you are taught on how to anticipate issues.
Yes.
And to be able to draw scenarios that, look, if X, Y happens, what do I do? What do we do? And not the rest. You see, this thing has been with us for over 15, 20 years. So why is it difficult for our military hierarchy to have a template or to have strategic plans to curtail the insecurity we have in this country? Then it means we are wasting our money. It means we are wasting our time. It means this country, once the military is not safe, nobody is safe. Then we are in a state of helplessness, and life is very brutish now.
Yes, but can the military, because this is another, and it's unfortunate we don't have a military person here, but can the military operate outside of, civilian political authority?
No.
They cannot.
No.
Listen,
they cannot.
It has nothing to do with what you're saying.
It doesn't?
Yes, the Constitution empowers the military to any insurgency. If you are waging war against this country, it is the responsibility of the military.
But this one has not been called an insurgency. It's been called banditry.
Listen, we know. By attacking a military formation, you are attacking the country.
Yori?
Yes.
But stop confusing me. If you are attacking the country, then you are not a bandit. Bandits don't attack countries.
Nobody has said they are bandits.
What do you mean nobody has said they are bandits?
It is the categorization.
NDA itself.
It is the categorization of the media.
Said NDA itself in the release called them bandits.
Maybe they're playing it down, and maybe because of lack of intelligence, and the media is key into it. The military, as I told you, the media says agenda, but because we are in a very difficult time, and we are listening to the government, perhaps we are trying to be patriotic, and that's why we are doing all this.
So now you're going to blame it on the media.
No,
now you're going to blame it on the media.
I'm a media expert, but we are trying to. I think the media is trying to be circumspect, not to overblow the matter.
So it is the media that taught governments to be calling terrorists bandits.
Let me explain this.
Okay, yeah.
You know, a lot of people have said that these people should be declared as terrorists. But in the Nigerian government has decided to leave it at bandits.
To play it down.
Now, to play it down, because when you call anybody a terrorist, even the security level of that area will rise. Just like in the Northeast.
Yes.
The security level is at high, very high. Now, when you do this, it also have ripple effects on foreigners who are doing business in Nigeria, all kinds of things. So, to that nomenclature, you know, people are being very careful about it. But at the same time, dealing with them, you know, call them goats or thieves. Dealing with them is more important than whatever name you call them. Yes.
Okay, let me quickly go on a break. Let me go on a break. Stay with us, please. I'm coming right back. No, we just need to get to the bottom of all of this. And what level of sincerity are we operating under? Stay with us, please. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Dr. Fassy Yussuf, lawyer and communications expert. Dennis Amachree, former Assistant Director of DSS, an intelligence expert in the studio. And we're looking at the very, very unfortunate saga of the NDA in Kaduna being hit and some military personnel being killed by people referred to as bandits. We've queried that, but we've talked about it. Why will you call them bandits but not terrorists? Bandits are not usually able to take on entire governments. And if these bandits that did this are not taking on government, then I don't know what exactly they were trying to do. But we left it with, in fact, I think the Chief of Army Staff, he was saying that he actually has reason to suspect some inside aspect to this job. But let me go to what I wanted to come back to. And because we were talking about it before we went away, the sincerity under which we are operating. What is that level of sincerity? Because I brought up my own concern. I'm saying that the Nigerian army is such an institution that cannot be messed with ordinarily if it weren't an institution under orders. And if the order is not given to slam it, just slam it all, once and for all, then they are not going to do so.
We were talking,
and Dennis reminded me that the president's order to shoot any AK-47 wielding.
We are in an era of deception.
Deception.
Yes, and
from our leaders.
Yes.
Okay.
And there's a disconnect between the leadership and the followership, and to the extent that even within the military hierarchy, there's a disconnect. There's a wide gulf between the leadership of the military and the other ranks, and even the middle ranks, to the extent that there's no question, there's no synchronization of operations, and things that should be done have been left undone,
which is very, very unusual in such a disciplined force.
The military is not subscribing to information technology, to high tech. If they're subscribing to, then they are deceiving us that they are doing it, and the right thing is not being done. Otherwise, it is so easy to capture anywhere in this country, any part of the world.
Which was my bloody civilian point of view.
You can capture the world.
People say you don't know enough.
You can even capture the moon.
Exactly. Chimeze in Egbeda. Good morning, sir. Chimeze, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Go right ahead, please.
Okay. I want to comment about the attack on the NDA.
Please go ahead, quickly, please.
Yes, I'm here. I want to comment on the attack on the. NDA.
Chimeze, we're waiting for you. Don't listen to your TV. Okay. There's a delay. Chimeze, could you please say your piece? Thank you very much.
Okay. What I'm saying is, if the government, if it was this NDA is in the eastern region, if the NDA is sited in the eastern region and they attack the NDA in the eastern region, don't you think that government will send RRT, the whole forces, to that eastern region to kill all the youths around that area? Now, in the north here, the only thing that be happening in this country is all this while. Do you know what your president is interested? Grazing route of 1902.
Wait a minute. No, we can't go there. What do you mean by your president? Isn't he your president too? It's our president. Chimeze, we don't talk like that. But thank you very much for calling. We appreciate that much. But then you will, accord, the authorities the utmost respect, which does not mean that you cannot say your piece. But he was, I think the point he was trying to make in there
is that there are rules for one part of the country, there are rules for another part of the country. And what he said, what the takeaway from what he said was that, can we have a uniform system of governance in this country? Can we patronize good governance? Can we patronize sincerity? Can we patronize patriotism? Can we patronize ethical conduct in the management of the affairs of this country?
Uniformly across the board, right?
Yes.
Now, it's a very contentious, if that was where Chimezie was going, it's a very contentious position. And I don't imagine that the authorities will, for one moment, consider that he has any point right there, because we are being regaled, we're being told that, look,
it is the responsibility of government to disabuse its position by doing the right thing.
Okay. Well, yes. Unless you're suggesting
look, the first thing we cannot do, the thing we cannot do is that we cannot abridge the freedom of expression. But expression must be made responsibly, must be made ethically, must be made patriotically.
Well, okay. Let me bring in Idowu in Bauchi. Good morning, Mr. Idowu.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling. Go right ahead, quickly, please.
I'm watching you live and direct. What I want to contribute here is we have to be very, very more proactive. If they can enter NDA, then Asharok is not protected. Nigeria is not so big that we cannot bring ourselves together to correct the abnormalities. All these people are rebels. Our elders have spoken. If the wall do not crack, lizard cannot enter. This is my contribution. Good morning.
Well, thank you very much, Idowu. Interesting proverb. Interesting proverb. But it still is on the theme of what is the level of sincerity under which we are operating? Never mind what the newspaper headlines are saying. Never mind what the analysts are saying. I'm still going back to this.
I take exception to that.
Yeah, but never, because
as a media man,
yes,
you cannot say the media is to mirror the society, is to bring to the fore the happenings within the society. But you can talk about social responsibility. You can talk about listening to what the people are saying.
Well, okay, let me explain myself a bit better, and let me bring it to Dennis in doing so.
Yeah, saying never mind what the media is saying.
Because we have been saying things that are following a certain kind of logic, and the question has now come. We don't understand the level of sincerity under which we are operating. Who is going to stand up and say he's ready to champion it? The Nigerian army is incapable.
Now,
the Nigerian army is behaving in some sort of a caged way.
Let us refocus.
Okay.
Because I don't want people to downgrade their opinion about the military. The military is acting to the best of their capacity. And, right now, remember, they are under civilian rule.
Yeah.
So the buck stops on the civilians.
Yes.
Not on the military.
Yes.
Okay? Now, sometimes you remember in the last time, they were having a lack of arms and everything. It was not the military's fault. It was the civilian fault. And it was the National Assembly that came out to say, okay, we are going to give you this amount to go and do what you have to do.
Yes.
So let us refocus. Either we're looking at the structures. The guy said that one day they might go and attack Aso Rock. So what are we talking about? We're talking about processes, access control, and of course the clearance of people on entering sensitive installations.
And people will go to that almost illogical extreme because of the severity, the seriousness of the problem. You attack NDA. It reminds you of the hooligans that attacked the Capitol in the U.S. Until it happened, nobody saw it happening.
Exactly.
What if there is a run, God forbid, on Aso Rock? Yes. All in the name of bandits. Jonathan in Abuja. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir, Mr. Yore. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you for calling.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I want to make my own contribution.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, you know, this NDA attack is embarrassment to the election. I remember when the killing of Jos happened, immediately they keep it in Jos. Less than 48 hours, people was apprehended. They arrested so many people. But this attack is more than 3 days now. Nobody have arrested. Nobody have apprehended. So the same security agents that went to Jos and arrested so many people there, what are they doing to arrest the perpetrator of this act now? I remember when it happened in the Imo, when they break jail in Imo, how they send the whole troop down to Imo State to arrest people. But this are happening in the north. You hardly take it to arrest anybody. Nobody have been arrested. You have never seen anybody arrested for this bad act, and the government are sitting at the top of the situation. So this government, they are not sincere in what they are doing. They are playing politics even in our security. They are not sincere at all. If you have in another part of state, they will take action. In another part of state, they will close eyes. This is nothing is happening. Look at what's happening in Jos. The way they kill people in Jos, and nobody is doing anything for that. So government should be sincere.
Okay.
Tell everybody along.
Okay, thank you very much for calling in, Jonathan. Thank you. Appreciate your call. You know, remember that security is one of the planks, one of the pillars of the president's coming. That and economic development and something else. Those were things that he said
he was going to do.
He was going to be focusing on primarily. And he has said recently that in the area of security, he is not going out, of office as a failure, meaning nothing having achieved his aims.
Yeah, so that also extends to say that the military, the image of the military is at stake right now. Somebody cannot come into your house and take your child and disappear, and you have all the monopoly of violence with you, and then they go out and they are now asking for ransom.
Can you imagine?
So it's an insult. Number one, there should be no ransom payment. Number two, the military should track these people down.
They're doing it. They're on it right now.
They're wasting time, because I think that if they were right behind them, by now, how far are they that we are still looking for them?
I was listening. I don't know the geography, the lie of the ground up there in Kaduna, but I'm hearing that it's not that far away from a military barracks. It's not that far away from a military barracks.
I've told you, technology will have tracked down these people. Okay, if they want to deploy technology.
Please let's take Garba in Amachree and then you'll continue.
Okay.
Good morning, Garba in Amachree.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. Good morning to Doctor and former DSS officer.
Mr. Amachree.
Okay, let me say this quickly. Honestly, the government has failed. And look at the perception that Nigerians are feeling about this. 2 and 3 callers make a kind of perception, perceived kind of showing bias to society issue, which is very bad. It's the failure of the government. I'm from the north. I'm not happy with what is going on in the country. And to be honest, this government puts so much back to the north than any other part of the country. We suffer worse than any part of the country. What is going on? So the government needs to rise up to the occasion. Look at what happened in Benin State yesterday. It's a place by the highway going to last year National State. Market day. Those guys came and killed market women. 8 in number. What are they trying to portray there? They need to rise up. Look at what happened in Kaduna. NDA is there. Nigeria Air Force Base is close to there. Bandits is there. And by the way, I believe that security actors of the country has been compromised.
Yeah.
That's fact.
Yeah.
Whether we like it or not, someone insider is compromising the security actors of Nigeria. We have to be very careful. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Garba in Amachree, for calling in. And so much so that the chief of army staff, I believe it was, he said that he had reason to actually suspect that there might
be a mole within the system.
There must be a mole within the system. It goes back to what you were saying about disenchantment within the place and all of that. And this is where we come back to the sincerity level.
Deception.
Thank you. The government can't blame people for thinking along these lines simply because they're looking at the lie of the ground. So it goes back to what you've been saying and what Garba is saying. Government just has to now rise to the occasion and say, oh, if this is the way people are going to begin to look at it,
I think
something drastic needs to be done.
The government is overwhelmed.
No, you can't say that.
The government is overwhelmed. You see, Look, yesterday, Jos. Yesterday, Plateau. Plateau. Yesterday, Nasarawa. Yesterday, Benue. Yesterday, Zamfara. Yesterday, Niger State. Yesterday, Kaduna. Today, Kaduna, Katsina, and all that.
Yeah.
For how long? For how long? I think.
And
are we unable to put on our thinking cap? Are we unable to define strategic approach to the management of the insecurity in this country?
And take Governor Otom for crying out, every time. I think the presidency, speaking, Garba Shehu speaking for the presidency, has said that.
No. That, you see,
you heard that. You heard that.
Garba Shehu doesn't behave like a professional. It's a disappointment.
Okay. I have another caller, but I need a help. Pascal is calling in from... Good morning, Pascal.
Oh, good morning.
Surulere. I believe it's Surulere. Good morning, sir.
Thanks for allowing me to talk. I've been trying to reach you for 2 years now.
Oh, dear. Thank you very much for being that persistent. Go ahead, please.
Yes. If you will allow me to say my mind, because sometimes you are a moderator, but sometimes
you're serving me notice.
We need that bit of
We're serving me. You're serving me notice, but please go ahead. Let's see how it goes.
Yes. Please, I just want to contribute on what is being said. I want to just ask you a few questions.
Me?
Yes,
or the program?
And you are paneling.
Okay.
Because two people have said, even one from the north, if what is happening in Kaduna is happening in the east, any part of the east, what do you think will happen there with the army? That is one. Secondly, we have heard about 3 crashes. One in Katsina, and these are military aircraft, and they said that we are going to have reports. Which reports have you gotten from the 3 crashes? Have you received any?
Okay. Thank you very much, Pascal. That's it.
I haven't finished.
Oh, yeah, add one more. Please, just add one more so that the panel can deal with it. Thank you very much. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Answer me those questions for you to talk about the security. And what did the president say?
Well, okay. Thank you very much. Okay, Pascal. Okay, let's deal with the 2 whammies that you dropped us anyway. I don't know. Does anybody want to take a stab at that? Let me start with you, Dennis. Pascal asked a suppositional question.
Yes.
It's a suppositional question.
What is the question?
He said that if this were to happen in the east. What do you think would have happened? And he seems to be implying that it would be different from what appears to be happening in Kaduna. Now, it just supposes. It has, I don't know.
Well, you see, one thing, I'll always redirect you again to what is happening in the country. We have a very serious threat situation in Nigeria. Everywhere. Now, the other guy has said it that, in fact, if you look at it very well, the North is suffering more than anybody else.
Garba pointed that out.
That's what he said. Okay? So you find out that, here we feel, I think, a little environment of safety. There you cannot sleep. You cannot be in Maiduguri or you are in Kaduna, and then you say you are sleeping, because you don't know what's going to happen. So the country itself is enmeshed with serious threats. What I would advise is that, people who are in charge of the management of these things should re-strategize.
They need to be hearing all these commentaries.
Re-strategiage, yes,
and be knowing that there is a danger for people to take their own...
has not answered the question.
Their own understanding.
If we're to be in the east, what will the government have done?
But it's a suppositional question.
But my own answer is this. Your guess is as good as mine.
Okay, exactly. So that is exactly what I'm saying.
Yes.
That's exactly what... Reverend Dominic, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Chief Jory.
Go right ahead, please.
I wish you can give me 60 minutes. 60 seconds. 60 seconds. Jory, listen to me. Jory, whenever this thing happens, I sorry myself. Listen to me. Honestly, because I've been under attack in the supermarket, I told you this. Joe Biden in America said this, that why America pulled out from Afghanistan, they
are fighting for Afghanistan. They're not fighting for themselves. I hear Dr. Amachree say he wants to get order from civilian, government before they attack themselves. Where on earth a man comes to attack you and you have gun, he has a gun, you are waiting for order from our flock to defend yourself? Where does it happen? It happened in Imo. When it happened in Imo, we rose up here. How could a police station be attacked, a police division be attacked, and they couldn't defend themselves? The issue here is that there's no crime here. What we have here is a state-induced crime. There's nowhere in the world, anywhere in the world, quote me, that any bandit or terrorist will attack a police or army formation. Until now, we are waiting for a committee to give a direction. I thought they said they have taken aircraft. Taken aircraft was bought costly, so we can target these enemies. Where is it? Why not deploy to Kaduna? Why are we going through this shame? Every day I pray. Just look at my prayer. We don't have this kind of government again in this nation. That's my prayer.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. People, there's a sense in which probably even the authorities themselves can understand the frustrations of the people. Yeah. They can see that we are being overwhelmed. Fassy said the government was being overwhelmed. I don't know about that, but we, the people, certainly are overwhelmed. And part of it is that we need. We
are an arm of government.
Well.
Everybody, every one of us, every one of us.
And who is government after all?
Yes. Who is government after all? And so people are thinking that, look, with what's going on, we brought up the question of sincerity. Government must be hearing all of these things, and they must know by this that they need to do a heck of a lot more to reassure people, to prove to them, to show to them that whereas we might understand why you're thinking that way, this is the situation. Yeah. This is the lie of the ground. I
think there should be more communication.
There should be a lot more communication.
Between
because people have always commented that we're not getting enough.
In number of this,
we've run out of time, but let me hear.
Communication.
Yeah.
What we need is we must put on our thinking cap.
Yes.
To frontally attack the issues, especially the security issue confronting this country. Otherwise,
yes,
we will not be able to sleep.
And so you're talking to government.
Yes,
because it's not we the people.
Yes, the government of the day.
Okay, since you've included yourself in government, yes,
must strategize and see that look, security issue must be tackled. Otherwise, the government will be branded a failure.
Okay, and that's the last thing that any government would want. And so
the
Dennis,
president does not want that either.
Sorry.
The president does not.
No. The president, he heads the government, so he certainly doesn't want that. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. I'd have liked to, and I'm sure you two would have liked to contribute a lot more, if we had the time. But it is what it is. It's excruciating. Taking on the foremost military education facility institution in the country, just like that. A bunch of bandits.
Terrorists.
Well, thank you very much. That's what a lot of people think. So that's our program. But please remember, COVID-19 is still out there. Do everything that you can. Start off by considering the vaccine. After that, socially distance, mask up, wash your hands. You know the whole regime. I'm Yori Folani. I'll see you tomorrow, God willing. Bye-bye for now.